And welcome to the video. So this is the video which I have been talking about, and with this video I will tell you how to deal with bad reviews on Fiverr. So I have been a Fiverr seller for about 8 to 9 months, and I am already level 2 seller. And for level 2 seller I have to touch around $2,000 in revenue, but I have already crossed that. I am around $5,000 to $6,000 in revenue, etc. I have hundreds of reviews right now, and pretty much I'm a good seller. Okay, trust me. So basically, I will tell you how to get deal with bad reviews on Fiverr. It's not a surprise that I have also got bad reviews, and some were really nasty, some were some really basically insulted me or my service, etc., and called me a scammer, etc., etc. So I know what you are going through if you got a bad review or if you're a new seller. So let's get into the video. So I have already prepared a list for that. I have covered almost every possible scenario for it, and hopefully one day I will sell this script as an NFT and make millions. So without further ado, let's start. So first of all, let's see. So if you got a bad review on Fiverr, don't worry about it. It's not a very big deal. Like if you got your first bad review, it's a big deal if you got your hundredth bad review. So it's a very big deal. But if you got your first bad review, don't worry about it. You can just average it out with other good reviews if your service is really good. So don't really worry about it. But as Carrie Blogger said, that there are 1,000 things before you get a bad review. Like you have to submit the delivery, you have to chat with the buyer, you have to understand their expectations, etc., etc. So even after doing all that, either you did a good job or a terrible job, the it doesn't matter, because now you have a bad review on your profile. First of all, if the I will list all the points here or here, depending on the screen, etc. So first of all, the scenario is if the review was an accident. So many times it happens, like if the buyer accidentally touches 2 stars instead of 5 stars, and they put a very good review but the stars are 2. So if that's the case, then you can just simply contact the Fiverr support and ask them to make this change to 5 stars, and obviously they will ask the buyer as well, and you can just do it in 2 to 3 business days, no worries at all. The buyer will When the buyer will approve it, basically the Fiverr support will make it 5 stars, and you need to not worry about it. Basically it was an accident, and you did a good job basically. So so the second one is, you now this is a tricky scenario because you did everything what the buyer asked. So basically I have a QA testing service, so I test websites UI and UX for users, etc. So uh, if you did everything what the buyer asked you to do, you did everything correct, the buyer was sounding nice in the chat, everything was going perfect, but suddenly they gave you a 3-star review. So for the first thing is, you have to contact the buyer, ask them what you did wrong so you can improve in the future, or why were it exactly like they were not happy with the service. So if you did everything right and the asked by the buyer and you delivered on time, so you can do two things. First, either explain or ignore. So what I mean by that is, first of all, as you may know, that when the buyer puts a review, you also have an option to reply to that review and also to put a buyer review. So uh, when you put a buyer review, of course you don't know what the situation is right now, and you think everything is going perfect. You put a great buyer review, and then you will see your seller review, and you are shocked to see that there are only 3 stars, and you don't understand what to do. So basically what you can do is, you can reply to that review, which will show in your profile or your gig page. You can reply to that and explain your side of the story, like what you did was right or wrong. You just explain your side, Like for example, what one time it happened, a person ordered a $30 order on my for my gig, and the expectations were too high. Like they were expecting a I don't know, $100 or something. So I just delivered the order, and they said that I did not meet the expectations, etc., etc., and it was a pretty bad review. So what I did was I put up a reply to their review and said that you only placed this one's order, and I delivered as much bug as possible in the 3 hours of testing I do. So you cannot do much about it, but you can just basically reply to the review and explain your side of the story, which will help the potential new buyers to see if you are wrong or right, or they don't even care actually. But still you can say, like, now if or you can ignore as well. So like if you have a thousand sorry thousand if you have 1,000 reviews, you wouldn't be here. So if you have 100 reviews or something good reviews and you got one bad review, so I think you can ignore it, and you can explain your side of the story as well. But still I think you should ignore it completely. It's not much of a deal to that. It's not much of a deal. It will not tarnish your reputation basically. So you can do that. So now the third scenario is, if you are the person who were wrong, you did not you did not understood the expectations of the client, and you just went to do the order, and you just completed the work in a hurry, and just delivered it like for the sake of the work, and you did not did your due diligence, and you basically did not understood the expectations. So when you are wrong, so and if the buyer says that I did not expected that result, and etc., etc., so I think you should refund the order, because it's no I don't think it's a good ethical I don't think it's good ethically as well, because you did not spend the exact you did not spend the time which was required to do the work, and etc., and I think you should refund the money to the buyer and say I'm sorry, etc. And the fourth point is that it is not a scenario, it is basically a tip. So if you want to refund someone's order, or you want to cancel the order, or and you are scared about the ratings drop in your account, so maybe you can ask them to move them, that I will refund you through PayPal or some other means, and just approve the delivery from here. Of course there will be trust issues here, like they will not approve the delivery before you send the money. So do your due diligence before sending the money, and it is a trust based on trust basically. So you will have to send the money first, and also understand what the client is. If it looks like a scammer, please don't send the money, of course, because some people also do that. Like they will complete the order, they will get everything done, and then they will say I'm not satisfied. So it's not like you did not did the work. If you are wrong, then you should only refund the money. If you feel yourself that I did not do did the ethical thing, so that's what you should do. So let's summarize all the points here. So if the review was if the review was an accident, you should just contact the customer support and ask them to change the review. If you did everything what the buyer asked, but still the buyer posted a bad review, you should either explain or ignore. Explain in the replies of the review, or ignore if you have a few good reviews, like 100 good reviews and one bad review only. You can ignore it as well. And also if you are the person who is wrong and did not did the uh, right work and did not understood the client's expectations, then you should just refund the money. And you can refund 25% or 50% of the money, and through PayPal or some other means, so that the account does not affect, so your account rating and etc. does not affect, because if you cancel the order, some 2 to 3 days. I don't know what's the penalty, something like that. I don't understand that completely, but still there is some penalty to that. So those are the things which you should do if you just recently got a bad review. So don't worry, it's not a big deal. And lastly, if everything is resolved, then I think you should reflect on your own actions, whether you did the right thing or wrong thing, and don't do it in the future. Of course, it's the gyan if you can, if you want, uh, because a business is a business. A business will only thrive if you are honest. If you just uh, pass your way through it with dishonesty and scam people in for 1,000 2,000 rupees, it will not, your business will not go any further. So that's it for this video, and I'm really shooting another video like how to prevent bad reviews. So in this video I told you how to deal with bad reviews, have you, when you already got them. But in the next video I will show you how to prevent the bad reviews so that they don't even come to your profile. And I have 100 plus reviews, and I only got some 2 or 3 bad reviews, I guess, at max. And no bad review has fallen uh, 3 stars, one 3-star review, and all are 4-star reviews, the bad reviews. Otherwise my review rate is 5 only. So uh, so that's it for this video, and hope to see you in the next video.